Hi, I'm Phyllis, and the website is southernfrugal.com. So I wanted to talk to y'all real quick before we get started on a pie. This morning I woke up and my right knee was hurting. So to start with, I thought, well, maybe it's not really hurting. Maybe I'm just imagining it's hurting. But when I got up, I was sure it was hurting. So I had gone without any Jello for 4 days. And the reason I did this is I wanted to see, will my knee start hurting again? And this morning I found out it started hurting again. So I've started adding the Knox gelatin to our smoothies. I started that this morning. I add 1 packet for 64 ounces. So really, each person's only getting 1/4 of a packet, but we're going to do it every morning. And the other thing, I'm going to make a pie using Jello. So I've already made the crust, and what I used was the Lorna Doone crackers. Now these came from Dollar General, and I actually had to use 3 packs of them to make the crust, which amounted to 72 cookies. Now, that made the crust cost $4.50. I'm not going to do that again because I'm sure I can find the big pack of the Lorna Doone, hopefully, in Walmart or at least some grocery store. So I won't be doing that anymore, but I tasted of a little bit of the crumb that I was using to make the crust, and it was very, very good. So I'm going to leave the recipe down below for the crust and the Jello part that we're going to fix. So I've got some stuff in the freezer, so hold on. There's the crust. Now I baked it for about, I think it was about 12 minutes at 350 degrees just to make sure it's all going to stick together. And it did get a little brown on the edges, but I can tell you it's very, very good. So this was from a subscriber that mentioned making crust with the Lorna Doone cookies, and she was very right. They are delicious, and I'm not a real big fan of the graham cracker crust simply because, you know, since what, the late 50s or early 60s, everything had a graham cracker crust. That's just what you did. And I just really got tired of them. And so now using different cookies for the crust is very exciting. Alright, so we're ready to fix the filling for this. And what I'm going to do, let me turn this down so y'all can see. I've got a 1/2 cup of boiling water. It's not quite boiling now, but it's really hot. And I'm going to use Island Pineapple Jello. And there's nothing complicated at all about this little filling. It's just going to be pineapple and crushed pineapple and cream cheese. So I'm just dissolving this in 1/2 cup of boiling water, and it says, the directions say you have to stir it for 2 minutes. Now I always use the 3-ounce packet simply because it's just the 2 of us. But of course the directions would vary if you were using the larger pack. Now what I have done is reduced the liquid that I'm putting in this by, let's see, I think 3/4 of a cup. And I've done that because I want to make sure this is hard enough or sets enough to be able to slice the pie. Did I show you that? There's the, yeah, I showed it to you. So I had put it in the freezer to get it to cool really fast. So it's definitely cool now. Alright, so we're going to keep stirring till we get this dissolved. So I want to talk to you again about the Jello. So I just wanted to prove to myself that that's what was really working with my knee. Now, when I woke up this morning and my knee was hurting, I was pretty disappointed, I can tell you. But that just proved to me we have not had Jello in 4 days and 5 nights, I think, yeah. And I did that deliberately because we love all of the Jello. But I wanted to know for sure, is that what's making my knee not hurt? And that must have been it, because I mean, it's hurting right now, not much, but in other words, if you're doing something, you probably wouldn't notice it. And that's why I noticed it this morning when I first woke up. Of course, I wasn't doing anything. And I thought, is my knee hurting? And yeah, it was hurting. So anyway, and also I have been able to go up and down stairs with no problem. Before, the way the knee always hurt was when I was going down steps or stairs, and I would go, of course it's my right knee, so I would go to step, and once you're making the step and your knee is slightly bent, and then all of your weight is on that knee really with it slightly bent, and that's when it would hurt sometimes bad. Alright, so we've got this completely dissolved now, so I'm going to pour it into my blender little beaker here, and we're going to add 8 ounces of cream cheese. See if I can get that in there. Alright, we're just going to mix that up with the blender. And again, I'm not using my Vitamix because it's way too hard to clean this out of it. Even when you add soap and blend it and all that, it's still hard. It's worse than peanut butter to clean out of my Vitamix. Alright, we're just going to blend this up now. And I'm going to cut this off because it's going to make a lot of noise. And we'll be back in just a minute. Alright, so we have got the cream cheese and the pineapple and the hot water all mixed up here, and now I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water and ice together. Now I put the ice in there because I want it to set pretty quick, and so I just put the ice in and then fill the water up to 3/4 of a cup. And again, I'm using less because I want to be able to cut this pie. And now we're going to mix it up again. This is going to be noisy again. We'll be right back. Alright, we finished mixing that all up. Now we're ready to dump it. Well, we're not ready to dump it in the pie shell. We're ready to add the pineapple. Now the pineapple is going to have some juice in it. That's why I altered the liquid. So I'm just going to dump that in. That. And I did put my pineapple in the freezer to get it really cold too. Yeah, because I'd like for this to set by the time we have our main meal of the day. I'm not sure it's going to make it, but maybe it will. Alright, now we're ready to dump it into the pie crust. Now again, I baked this, I think, for about 12 minutes at 350 degrees because I just wanted to make sure that the whole thing is not going to turn into crumbles, you know? So it was the 72 Lorna Doone cookies and 5 tablespoons of melted butter, and I didn't add any extra sugar to this. Alright, let's see if we can dump that in. It might be too much for this crust. Not sure. I believe it's going to be too much. Yeah. Way too much. Alright, hold on, I gotta get a bowl. Alright, so what I did is dipped a whole bunch of just the liquid out and put it in this little bowl. We'll go ahead and put that in the refrigerator too, but I wanted to make sure I used that because a lot of the pineapple, of course, was at the bottom. So I wanted to be sure I got all of that pineapple in the pie. Got it. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and I guess you'll be able to see when we cut it. I'm sure hoping it will cut into slices without, you know, not working right. Alright, we'll be back later. Alright, the pineapple cream cheese pie turned out really well with those Lorna Doone cookies as the crust. That's my piece. Mr. Bucky wanted a bigger piece. Anyway, there it is. And the extra, of course, I've already tasted of it because we had to not put all of it right in the pie because it was too much. But I think the crust turned out just great. So thanks to the person who recommended the crust made with the Lorna Doone cookies. It turned out great. All right, y'all, we will see y'all next time. Bye for now.